of the five of us, and I know Paul's not going to make it, so I'll go ahead and call the meeting of the Douglas Cultural Council to order. Um, and again, I don't want to. I think this is my sixth Zoom meeting today, and I have eight tomorrow. So I'm cool if we just end whenever. Um, if we want to save some of the stuff on the agenda when we have a larger group to talk about.
Sure.
I did want to talk about the farm and orchard though. I sent that email that Aaron forwarded to me, um, and we won't come to any kind of resolution tonight, obviously. But I think it bears worth talking about to try to see what we want to do moving forward. Um, Again, I think that originally the way that I saw this was that they weren't going to make any money off of the shows, but it wasn't going to cost them any money. I think
Right.
that we figured they were going to have three or four shows a year that we supplemented or are paid for in full, and hopefully folks shopped at the store or went apple picking or blueberry picking or something like that, and they would earn some money that way. And then when he came out with like the 14 weeks of shows, I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna make some money off these, which is super totally fine with me. And so that year, the only issue I think we had was the one band that I think he had to pay part of the ticket sales too. So when he did the parking thing, I just more or less looked at that as him trying to cover those bases. If they didn't sell enough tickets and we didn't supplement an entire band's request, at least one person reached out to Mass Cultural Council and complained about it. And so I think our what I told Aaron was our hope this year was that by increasing, the amount that one band had asked for, because they were only asking for half, and fully funding them, they wouldn't have to charge for parking. And like I said, you saw the email that he sent. I reached out to Ricky because he had asked me to reach out to Aaron, I guess last spring, or no, I guess in the fall after the person had complained to see what was going on. And Ricky's like, it is what it is. I don't think they're very happy about the situation because I guess he expects to get more this year about it. And he said that he advised us to sit down with Aaron and figure out how much Aaron's charge, or how much Aaron needs to make from parking, and how much it costs to clean up the place afterwards, and that maybe we can work with him to get the bands to ask for that additional money next year.
Mm.
Um, I didn't. I told Aaron that. I mean, I told Aaron and Ricky that we would talk about it. Um, my worry is that this is just going to kind of continue to be a thing where something's getting charged just so either Aaron can make some, so the farm can make some money, or so that they feel comfortable not that they're not going to lose any money. I also don't know the degree that there are any financials. Like I don't. I know last year the people who were at least the two shows I went to, the people who were helping with parking were volunteers. I don't know the degree that they were actually getting paid. So I don't mind sitting down with Aaron and asking for that, but I don't want to like put him in a corner um, where he feels like he has to create financials or something like that. I also don't want us to get in a position where we're only like able to, because that's about a quarter of our allocations this year, to where we're only like financing or giving grants to one band to perform there because we're paying 500 for parking and 200 for trash and
Right.
700 for a band. Um, so I don't know. I can probably go with whatever everybody else ultimately feels like. Um, but I mean, our summer concerts, and again, with sort of the tone of the email is like, Aaron he thinks he's doing us a favor now, and to some degree he is. But it's definitely not. I don't think the event or the relationship that I think we kind of originally imagined, um, where it was just going to be kind of cultural council shows. And I mean, now I don't think he needs us. I mean, I think he's already sent out like two advertisements for shows for the next like month or something like that. So I don't know. We're talking about like what we want to do or next steps.
I have a couple of thoughts to add, I guess. I wondered if part of Aaron's expense this year is different from former years because now he has the additional staff members that are helping with the social distancing. So it's not just somebody directing traffic to park cars. He had like 3 other guys out on the field, making sure that people were wearing their masks, that people were following safety procedures. So I wondered if some of the COVID relief funds that come to the town could or should be funneled to Aaron for the summer concert.
Okay.
Used to be more than one, but just one in this case. If that would alleviate some of the additional burden he might have this year. And
Yeah,
like,
I can ask him if that's something that, I mean, would, I guess he would apply for that rather than us apply for it for him.
right, we might just have to help facilitate that a little bit. Like we might want to talk with somebody from the finance committee to say, this is our thought, is that possible? And do you agree that this is the right thing to do? And if so, can we connect you with Aaron?
Okay.
Because I don't know, I kind of feel like he is sort of doing us a favor. Yes, it brings people to the farm, but unless those people are spending money, they're really just using his space and making a mess that he has to clean up, that we bear no responsibility for. So
True, and the advertising.
Yeah.
And
Handles the
yeah.
advertising across social media.
Yeah, I'm
So
not unsympathetic at all.
Yeah, I do get him wanting to be compensated for that stuff that we just didn't even think about because we didn't have to, which was nice for us. And we don't want to have to think about it going forward because we're such a small committee. Like I imagine the alternative would be us going in and staffing each concert and picking up the trash afterwards. And that didn't sound great either.
No.
I don't know how you guys did it when they were on the common. Is that how you guys did it?
Well, there was no trash really. I mean,
Right, there were not many people at all.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know,
I mean, so it was easy. Everyone pretty much took their own trash out, and there was a trash barrel next to where we were, doing the fundraising with the baked goods. But other than that,
yeah,
there wasn't really any.
Yeah. So I can reach out to FinCom and see if if that's a possibility. And then if it is, I can reach out to Aaron and see if that would help. I mean, again, I think the situation we're in for this year is that Aaron's going to do what he wants to do. And there's not much the Mass Cultural Council can really do about it. And then kind of going forward, we either sit down with him and figure this out. I thought he and I had talked this out last year, and it was like, we can't charge for parking. And he was like, okay. So I don't know. I guess we could have another conversation or invite him to a meeting and, see what we can come up with.
Yeah. Having the concerts at the farm definitely seems to make them a lot more well attended and a lot more accessible to people. So I want to protect that relationship if we can.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, and I definitely don't mind them making money from the shows. And I don't want to get into like any kind of like argument with him or conversation about him about like what's appropriate, like what's the minimum or maximum that they need to make it worth their while. But I can also, I can kind of see somebody that wants to go enjoy a free show and then all of a sudden they have to pay for, parking.
Right. I wonder too, is it as easy as just making sure in the advertisement that it says that the concert is free, but parking is $5?
Yeah, I can ask him to make sure he includes that.
Because that would be an easy win-win with no negotiations and no needing to pull in other people from other committees to help out.
Yeah, again, I mean, I think it was probably just one person that complained. I mean, he said nobody's ever complained, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I would imagine that, $5 for your family to go see a show isn't, isn't the worst thing in the world to pay for.
Right. When I was there for a show I guess it was last summer, I remember seeing a couple of people trying to sneak in without paying. I don't even think it was one of our shows, but they were all people from out of state. So.
Oh, interesting. He said that you can just show up and not pay for parking. Like you can be dropped off or you can walk there, and it's not like he's charging a surcharge or anything.
Right.
He's like, I've got to pay people to do stuff and I can't take a hit. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't think there's parking for the other shows, right? Like the ones I've gone to, it's just like he peeked in the car and he was like, okay, 2 adults, $20, right? Or I don't remember paying for parking. So I think it's just those shows. Again, I think it's so he can have, kind of a plan B. If there's not enough ticket sales, he can at least have some money for the band or for the farm through parking.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I get. I don't, want him to lose money doing this. So.
Mhm. Yeah, I think our assumption was that this was going to maybe even bring him some money because people would go to the farm, and I assumed that they were going to do the pulled pork and stuff again. So
yeah, the shows I went to, they did, and I mean, again, I mean, they don't have to do that if they don't want to, but they were definitely making money on that. I mean, Aaron was Nick was ridiculously tired at the end of the day. It was like that line was always like 7-8 people waiting for waiting for food. I don't know what the margins on that are. I can't imagine they would be terrific, but yeah, I'll reach out. I'll reach out to I guess FENCom and see, and then let Aaron know that at the very least he needs to let folks know in any communication that the show's free, but they have to pay for parking.
do you want to delegate anything to either Bev or I?
No, it's just simple. A couple of emails. It's no problem.
Okay.
So what did Maloof want? I remember reading the email, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a while ago. That's okay. I have it up. So when I told him that we were funding his grant, I asked him about his process for choosing the people he interviews for the biography.
Oh yeah.
And he said that last year, I guess he did this before, the person was chosen by the Cultural Council. He said typically it's one person that is interviewed for the book. And I think I assumed from reading the application that it was going to be more than one person.
Me too.
So he said, if you want people, we could have up to 3 people in the book if the council prefers that. So he kind of left it open to us to tell him if we have a preference of 1 to 3 people. And also give him some direction on how to nominate the person. He said the advantage of one person is that the story is more in depth. With 2 or 3 subjects or interviewees, in order to unify the book, he would ask the same 2 or 3 questions to those people to make sure that the book was cohesive, right? And he said it might be interesting to have people from different generations answering the same questions, and that might draw more interest to the project. He said, regardless of how many people he interviews, the book will be the same length. He said if someone could nominate a person and state why they think that person would be a good subject, he'd be open to it. He's not going to be the one to decide who the subject is. He suggested we could even draw a name out of a hat. Or he said he could contact the library and ask the library for a name, or see if they want to do a drawing to determine who it is. Or he suggested he could contact the senior center to get a recommendation.
Yeah, I guess I would go with senior citizens before the library or even the historical society.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Historical Society might have a good
Yeah, I'm not
idea.
on that committee anymore, so I don't really know who's doing stuff there, but that that to me might be a cool project where again, I also thought he was doing a number of interviews. But if they could pick, I mean, I kind of like the generational thing, but I also would kind of like just three people who have spent a long time in Douglas who might have different experiences, pull people of sort of different backgrounds and gender and stuff like that. But yeah, I would think the Historical Society might have some good folks. I know we like my first couple of years on the committee, we would have people come and talk, about the history of Douglas and things like that. And there was a huge concern about losing kind of that oral history. So
Okay. Do either of you happen to know anyone that sits on the historical society committee so I can give him a name or contact
yeah,
info?
I can send some names of folks who are on there.
I guess I could probably find it on the town website too, maybe, right?
As you might imagine, that was not the most like internet savvy group when I was there. Let me see. I'm looking at their webpage.
The only conditions he has is that we should avoid having the person be a town official, especially if they're elected, as they are not likely to be as open and forthcoming.
Yeah, I could see that.
Also, he said if we had anyone in mind, he would be happy to just cold call that person if we wanted to send contact information. I've only lived here 3 years, so I don't know anybody. I know you people.
Yeah, I've only got you beat by a couple of more years, so um,
I assumed you were an institution from all the committees that you sit on.
Well, I tried to go to their website.
I
It's
don't know
under
how that happened.
construction. All right.
Yeah, that's like going on for 10 years now.
It's still under
I went to the
construction.
Facebook page. Yeah. Um, I'll just reach out to a couple of folks I knew were a part of that committee, and one of them would be great to interview anyway, um, and see if they're still together. We went through like I think 3 different boards in like 4 years. So I don't know if they're even like still actively meeting. Um, but yeah, I'll reach out to a few of those folks. The person I'll reach out to, she's been in Douglas her whole life, and she's been a member of that society for like 30, 40 years. So she would at the very least have some pretty good ideas if the society's kind of disbanded.
Okay, cool. They do make excellent soup.
Yes, they do. I hear Oktoberfest is definitely on again this year.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw something on it must have been on one of the Facebook pages for the town. Someone said that they confirmed they are going to do Oktoberfest again.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, we ran out of soup every year because we're not allowed
Wow.
to make soup there. We have to make it at home and bring it there.
Yeah.
And so we're always like, we could sell so much more soup if we could just make soup here.
I tried to offer to make soup for them because I like making soup and I have a couple specialties. And they said I had to be a member of the Historical Society if I wanted to.
Really?
I think
Huh.
so.
I
This
think
is a
there's
couple years
some
ago,
tough competition in the soup crock pots there. So
maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
It
know.
wasn't easy to offer soup, but that's all. I might be wrong about the reason why, but
Interesting. So yeah, I'll send that email to Shirley tomorrow, and hopefully she'll get back to me. We can get back to Maloof pretty quickly. Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. I think that's the best course of action rather than like sending it to the senior center or the library and asking them to come up with names. Maybe that could be like a plan B or something.
Yeah, thanks for your help. If you end up with any leads, let me know and I'll send them on to David.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send you the whatever names or whatever info she sends to me.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So yeah, other things on there. I mean, web pages, which I didn't know we had a web page. So that, I mean, I knew we had like the town kind of blurb, but I didn't know what else was on there. I always just go to the MCC one, and then donations are fundraisers. And then the only other thing I had is I know Ricky emailed me and asked if we were close to turning in the annual report. And I guess Danielle was working on that, so I can reach out to her. And I didn't know we had multiple reports because the town report's, I guess, different from that. Because I turned in the town report and I thought, we're
Done.
going with that for a year, and then apparently not. So,
Hmm.
and the town doesn't want the same report we give them. They prefer something different. So,
I didn't know we had a website either. I just Googled it. Oh yeah, that reminds me, a couple of months ago, I did reach out to someone in the town hall, Jean, maybe?
Mhm.
Is that a name that's familiar?
Mhm.
Reached out to her about whether or not we could be a little bit more electronic with our grants, with our grantees, so that starving artists didn't have to print like 30 pages of PDFs in order to get their grant funded and then send it by snail mail. Nobody ever replied to me. So I think it's a worthy question though. I just don't really know where to take it next.
Yeah. I never really handled that. I just go in and sign things when Danielle, in the past has asked me to do so. And then I just kind of like sheepishly hand it to somebody or stick it in a box.
Yeah, I thought they were just electronically sending it and we were printing it out, signing it and putting it in the box.
No, we're telling our grantees that they have to print it and mail it to the town hall.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
So like all of their proof that they held the event and their advertising and all that, I don't think we're printing it for them.
I just assumed that Danielle they were sending it to her and she was printing it.
Nope.
And we were signing it and putting it in the.
Nope.
Yeah, we should look at that.
Yeah, so I was
For
trying to
sure.
advocate for that to change, because not only is it costly and cumbersome for the artists, but
Right.
it doesn't really make any sense.
No, well, right, it's time consuming and costly for them, and it's another layer if they gotta mail it to the town opens it, then the town puts it in our box, says, hey, you've got something to do, versus we just get electronically, we print it,
Right.
we coordinate signatures, here you go in the town box.
I don't even love the idea of us printing it, because you can't go to the town hall unless you have an appointment. And then Danielle said she was passing it through a window. So that kind of sounds like a pain. And also, is anyone really keeping and using all that paper for anything? Or are they just like scanning it up somewhere and saving it electronically? Like, what's the point? I don't know.
I don't know what the town does with it. The town doesn't care about proof of advertising. The town doesn't care about any of those other forms other than the signature page.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's why I was thinking we handle that and just pass in with the 2 signatures to the town that final page, the sign off page. They don't care about the rest of it.
And
Yeah.
I don't see the MCC ever asking for that unless there was some kind of audit or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. According to Danielle, the grantee has to print it in snail mail, all of that stuff.
Well, that was probably the case in 1986, but it seems like we could probably get away with like just a PDF that everybody signs and.
Yeah, this only came up because during COVID, I think one of the artists had tried to email me their stuff. And
Okay.
I tried to forward it to Danielle, and Danielle was like, nope, has to be all printed and mailed. And
Hmm.
so that's how I even became aware of this. And that's when I was like, why? What?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who I guess we could ask Danielle like who to go to see if we
Yeah.
can change that because that's environmentally not great either to.
Maybe I can bug Kevin Morse because she told me who to go to, and I went to that person and I emailed that person and nothing.
Okay.
Right. Right. He'll know. Do the other committees do things electronically? I'm assuming. Yeah,
Yes, they
it's
do.
just, it's also a burden on the town hall to have to manage our mail and let us
Yeah.
know something came in and,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, like you said, they're definitely not saving all that in a
Mm-mm.
file system somewhere.
No, they don't. Yeah. We're supposed to go through, look in, make sure everything was done as it was said. And that's why two people sign off and put the final signature page in the box.
All right. Well, I'll email Kevin and he can redirect it if he wants to. Is he still the chair of the Board of Selectmen?
As far as I know.
I believe so.
Okay, other than fundraising ideas, I don't really have anything else, I think, on the agenda. I can't, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, maybe we'll just go over that when we've got everyone.
Get everybody.
You
Okay.
know.
Yeah, I've been thinking of stuff, but nothing really.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
I mean,
tough.
like when we were at the Historical Society, this is the issue that we had was like, how do we do fundraisers for the Historical Society? And so we would like print up hats and shirts and
Right.
like 4 people would buy it and you'd kind of break even and that was that. So yeah, I don't
I don't see us selling any Douglas Cultural Council hats and shirts.
I'll email Ricky and see like if he has ideas.
What
not
other people
more
done?
what- yeah, what other groups have done.
We should ask him for small town ideas.
Yeah,
Make sure he doesn't give us his big city ideas.
So I'll do that, and then the next time we meet, maybe we'll have some ideas.
I know Paul had suggested an idea, thinking that the Blackstone Valley Art Association might be able to do some kind of an art show. And I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I think he was thinking it could be a fundraising opportunity. And I did reach out and they said they would talk about it, and I didn't follow up and I didn't hear back. But I don't really see how it would benefit them,
Yeah.
the art association. So I didn't feel like we had much to sell them there.
Yeah, it's tough. And I mean, there are like rules about like, again, like what we could charge for, at performances and things like that. And I know like the bake sales, like we said last time, hardly made any money.
Just my daughter. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think Paul was thinking we would do an art show where the artists could sell their work and we would take a portion of the proceeds.
Yeah.
But they already have a lot of art shows that aren't super well attended. So why would they want to have another art show where they don't even get to keep all the money?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'll ask Ricky and see what he can suggest. And then we have to figure out what we're going to do with the money, right? So there's also that. I mean, I think according to Danielle, we're like now plus somehow $2,000 or something. I don't. At least that's what the MCC is telling us.
It's because that poor woman with the dance studio, we couldn't fund any of her stuff.
Yeah. We could keep saving up and then one year just like blow it all on one of her things. So I mean, it's not like we need money. I guess it would be, we could do more advertising or something like that. So I'll see what he says. Is there anything else that we wanted to discuss, or is that enough zooming?
No, not zooming.
Okay. Well, I'll send out I guess an email, and we'll see what Paul and Danielle can do maybe in the next couple of months. Like I said, I think the Aaron thing, I think that's kind of going to take care of itself this year. I think at some point we're just going to have to bring him into a meeting, maybe the next meeting, and see if it's viable that we can either cut the cost somewhere or cost share in some way.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, go ahead and call the meeting to a conclusion here.
I second.
I'll get back to you guys soon with all that information.
Thank you,
Great.
Dana.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.